Angry guy here, and women are furious that men are giving up on them and only dating women who celebrate them. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Getting these men in their prime.
That's pretty funny. I know you're not talking about my husband. Let me tell you know what? I'm not gonna tell you, I'm just gonna show you. Look at this.
And Philly is in the building today, looking fresh to death. What's up?
Hello. Yeah, it was perfect. Thanks.
Why this garbage started in the first place is because these passport bros went around and said, oh, look at this other group of women. They're so much better than you.
Once again, I highly disagree. None of these passport bros are running around talking about how much better women in other countries are. Because there are a lot of beautiful women in America. There are a lot of beautiful women all over the world, I have to admit. But the thing about it is, and that is the huge difference, we treat American men differently, you know? And here is another thing. What we do, us women who are not American, but who are married to American men, what we do to our husbands, you can do the same. Instead of kicking a man, you can empower the man. Instead of looking at him sideways when he wants to have a home-cooked meal from you, you can just serve him a platter. Instead of raising your voice, competing with your man, and just bowing up to your man, you can just sit there quietly, calm and collective, and just listen to your man. And then you can even have the power in, calming a situation down by just being calm. So it's all about how you are making the man feel. I make my man feel like he is the man because guess what? He is the man. I'm going to let him know that I'm the female of this relationship and there are a lot of things that I can't do. And guess what? That I don't want to do. I don't want to be strong and independent and without him all the time. I just don't, and I admit the fact that women, yes, we can function by ourselves. But when situations really get precarious, no, we can't survive without men, and that's like the difference. We are not acting like we don't need men. For one, of course, we all need men. And for two, we embrace the man who's in our lives. But here's the problem though, ladies in America, some of you who feel like I'm coming for you, I'm not. You don't want to self-correct. You don't want to be told that you are acting a certain way, and that is the reason why men are leaving the US to go be with other women from different countries. You rather attack the man and attack the women for doing whatever they do instead of looking in the mirror once.
Foreign women talking about, I got your man. Girl, those girls, as soon as they get that visa, they're going to be gone in 24 weeks, if not 3 months. Because guess what? They're going to realize that those guys were discarded and unwanted for a reason.
Look, I don't think that anybody's running around talking like that because there's absolutely nothing that we could gain from a conversation like this. If anyone is feeling some type of way about marrying somebody outside of the US, it is these women who are coming from men who are trying to do better for themselves. It's like this. These women, they don't want the men that are available, but yet they also don't want the man that they don't want to be with somebody else outside of the country. It's like they always find a reason to complain, which is another reason that men are leaving the US to go be with women of other countries or from other countries. We don't wake up complaining. Now, I'm not saying that every American woman out there does that. I'm not saying that. But here's the thing. If I would sit here, try to teach you how to treat a man, because I'm sorry, I have the receipt. I have been married for 15 years. I guess there is something that I'm doing right as a woman. But y'all don't want to hear my advice. Your ego is too big for that. I would love to know the reasons why these men got discarded in America and they are not wanted. I know why. Because a lot of women are way too entitled. A lot of women say, oh yes, the man is supposed to be the protector and the provider, but here's the thing. In order for a man to protect, you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to follow his orders. You have to be willing to compromise. And when it comes to providing, it's not only the financial aspect. Since all of you are so strong and independent, it seems like you don't need a man to provide for you financially anyway. But there are different ways that a man can provide for a woman. It's information, advice for self-correction. It's guidance. But you women don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that because for you, self-correction doesn't exist in your vocabulary. Guidance, oh, you're perfect already.
Y'all will buy a plane ticket to go to another country to pay a woman or a femme-presenting person to have adult relations with you. But tell me something, incel black men, you red pill popping, podcast watching, pathetic excuses for men. Tell me this. If y'all are so desirable, right? If y'all are what every woman wants, why y'all got to go so far and work so hard and spend so much money just to find a woman to lay down with you?
That clip honestly just made me so mad because these are the same type of women who would act like they are better than anyone else on this planet, especially men of her own kind. Now, if I would sit here and say that she displays traits of a low quality woman such as shaming men and insulting men, everybody would tell me that I'm hating on melanated women. But excuse me, I have honestly not seen one type of woman who is kicking their own man like these women. Not all of them. Please don't misunderstand me. I am not generalizing everybody over here. But from experience, what I have seen when I was in America myself, why do you think that men are, marrying outside of their own kind? I even had someone telling me I married an Asian girl so I don't have to be reminded of my own women. I was in complete shock. So instead of getting mad at the world and especially getting mad at men, these women really need to sit in front of a mirror and wonder, why are things the way they are? And some of them also claim to be.
It's crazy, guys. She makes so many valid points. Men are sick and tired of the nonsense. They're sick and tired of the games. They're sick and tired of the craziness. And by the way, shout out to Saraya, S to the B. She is making amazing content. She is definitely has a great future ahead of her. I mean, guys, it is check out her channel. I'll link the full video in the comments, in the description, so you can go and watch the full video on her channel. I mean, guys, this is the reality of it. This is the reality of society. This is the reality of where we are right now. Okay? Men are walking away from Western society and relationships in Western society, not because they cannot get a woman, but because they do not want to have a relationship with someone in Western society. They are rejecting these people. They are replacing these people, and they cannot accept that they are being rejected and replaced. Now, Surya, one thing she is wrong about is that, Surya is wrong that, these women can be taught how to be wives and mothers. They cannot be taught how to be wives and mothers because these are roles that they resent. They resent cooking. They resent cleaning. They see it as servant work, yet they want servants to do these things for them. They say that any man who is a man of value will be able to provide a wife with a cook, someone to cook, someone to clean, someone to take care of the children, a nanny. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I put out a new video where it shows that women are now saying that they will only date millionaires. They will only date millionaires in Western society right now. And when you go to these sugar platforms, all the people, like so many of the women on the platforms are doctors, lawyers, engineers, CEOs, female CEOs of companies that make millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. They are well off. And these women are still looking for men who are wealthier than them and more influential than them because they can never have enough. And do you think these women are going to cook and clean and offer anything? Absolutely not. The men on these platforms are only looking for one thing, and the women on these platforms, they're only looking for one thing. And the irony is they're not going to find it with these men. These men are going to tell them what they want to hear. They're going to lie to them, sell them a dream, and then they're going to get the heck out of there. And like I said, the M2 movement part 2 is coming, and it's going to go for guys on online platforms. M2 part 1 was offline. It took place in the real world. M2 part 2 is going to take place entirely. It's going to take place both in the real world and also online. They're going to be going after guys using dating platforms, men. They're going to be going after men that they never met in their entire lives, men that they exchanged messages with. They're going to be putting text messages online. They're going to be filing lawsuits against platforms for saying that they're allowing misogynistic content on there, and that they have trauma and they need millions of dollars to deal with that trauma. It's going to result in extraordinary laws, policies now being passed on these platforms that are going to restrict freedom of speech. And that's going to result in more men completely avoiding associating, talking, exchanging feedback with women on these platforms, especially in gaming. Guys are going to basically, they hear a girl in the chat, they're just going to drop out. And a lot of women are going to feel good about this because they go into, like, they go into an online game and they start talking and they just feel wonderful watching all the guys just drop out of the game, knowing that they have the power to chase off men. And at first it's going to be great because women are going to, show videos of themselves, walking around and guys just basically running away from them, guys crossing the street, guys, leaving. If they come into the gym, guys leaving the gym, and they're going to think that it's funny. They're going to think that it's funny that that their very presence is going to cause men to flee. You're going to see videos of it. You're going to see tons of videos where women are showing off that they can make men flee. Their very presence is enough to make men flee. Like, if they're at the cashier, if they're at the, they're grocery shopping and they're in an aisle, guys they walk into aisle, guys just flee the aisle. They're going to walk into stores and there's only women in the stores because men won't even shop in the stores anymore. They will only shop, they'll only do online shopping, order off Amazon. Like, this is the absolute reality of it. They're going to basically dance and party, and celebrate that men are completely avoiding them, and that men are afraid of them. Men won't speak to them. Men won't come near to them, because this is what they've said. Men should never talk to a woman who is a stranger. Men should never approach a woman who is a stranger. Like, this is the reality. Of course, when something happens, they expect a guy to come to the rescue, but they'll still turn around and sue that guy afterwards and say that something either inappropriate happened, or because of his actions when he was saving their lives, their injury was worse. This actually happened before, where a guy saved a woman from a car accident, and then she turned around and sued him and said that by him, rescuing her from the vehicle, it caused additional damages to, like, her neck. And this actually happened. Men need to, and the writing is on the wall. Like, no men have learned, like, don't help. Like, there are videos in the gym now where you'll see a woman working out and something will go wrong, and the guys are standing there and their instinct is to go and help, but they don't even do anything. They basically just step away. And the only thing, and these women are only lucky if another woman or women run to their rescue to help them, because the men are no longer helping. The men are basically saying, yep, nope, not going to help, not going to do anything. I've been here before. We know exactly what's going to happen. We've learned our lesson. Avoid, don't have contact, do not speak, and walk away. But the women overseas are basically saying, guys, we love you, we want you, come to us. And that's why you have these women that are screaming and hollering and getting furious at the passport bros, because the passport bros, passport kings, have found a way out. They're going where they're celebrated. They're only dating women who celebrate them, and this completely destroys the narrative and flips it entirely on its head. And women hate this. Modern women absolutely hate this. They hate that these men have found a way out. They hate that these women are accepting them. If you look at this, Soraya, she speaks perfect English. She has an accent. She has an American accent, bro. She's a Turkish woman living in Germany, but she's, so I guess technically German, but she has an American accent. She said that she met her husband in Philadelphia, like, I guess almost 20 years ago, and she has an American accent. So guys, you can get this is something that a lot of dudes don't know. A lot of dudes, I need to tell a lot of dudes about this. You can get yourself a woman from Thailand, Singapore, even China, and she will have an American accent. She will have a complete English accent. She will speak better than women that have lived that were raised in the United States. And you'll think that this is absolutely impossible. How does she have this accent? What happens is that in a lot of these countries, these young people, they go to international schools and they have tutors. And these parents will hire tutors to speak to their children in only English. They don't want them to speak. Chinese or Japanese or Indonesian or Vietnamese. They want them to speak only English so that their children will learn how to get the pronunciations right. And as a result of that, you then end up with children in China that speak perfect English. They sound like American children. They sound like American-born children, and you would never know that they're in China, that they're from China. It's beyond insane. All right, and it's not just China; it's so many different countries. But you can go overseas and get yourself a woman from overseas that sounds like an American woman or an English woman or whatever, and she will. And like I said, it's like the best of both worlds. It is the absolute best of both worlds. Anyway, guys, what do you think regarding this? Women are furious that men are giving up on them and only dating women who celebrate them. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. And guys, like I said before, if there's a video you'd like me to discuss, if you have a topic you want me to cover, to request a topic for a video, see the description below. If you emailed me previously, please know I had the wrong email address in there. I had angryguy@gmail.com. It's actually angrymgtow@gmail.com, as you can see on the screen there. So please send your email again, and I apologize if you sent me an email and you didn't get a response. I had the wrong email address there, and I'm going to be updating it in all the videos as quickly as I can. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.